Hello, everybody. I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions, and I thank you for your time. Wow, what is happening in the nonprofit sector? How are you feeling? Nonprofit leaders, grassroots nonprofit leaders, how are you feeling about all of the changes that are happening in the nonprofit sector right now? I know it can be discouraging, but I want you to be encouraged because that's what we are about as nonprofit leaders. We are encouraged and we are resilient. I've created a nonprofit survivor's guide to get us through this time. And the first chapter in the survivor's guide is called How to Complete a SWOT Analysis. How to complete a SWOT analysis for your nonprofit organization to survive. There is a free link to the How to Complete a SWOT Analysis Do It Yourself guide in the description. It is the first link in the description so that after this video, you can download it and print it and then share it with your team. So let's talk about a SWOT analysis. What is it? A SWOT analysis is a very popular tool that nonprofit leaders use to take a step back to see how their organization is doing from a different perspective. You see, as nonprofit leaders, we are in the trees all the time. We are in the trees, working in the trenches. Have you heard the statement, you can't see the forest for the trees? The reason that statement is relevant to us is because we are always in the trees working. And we never or rarely take a step back to come out of the trees and look at the entire forest from a distance, and the forest being the organization. So the SWOT analysis will guide you through the steps of getting out of the trees so you can see the forest. The SWOT analysis, the word SWOT is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are components that you can control from within the organization, internal factors. Opportunities and threats are external factors that are external to the organization. So I'm going to go through each one of the four components of SWOT and walk you through the steps of teaching you how to complete a SWOT analysis. That's the process that you sit down with your team and you analyze each of the four components of SWOT. The SWOT analysis, I'm going to walk you through those steps right now. So get a pen and paper if you don't have one. But again, I have the free guide, everything I'm teaching you now. If you just want to listen to me, that's fine, because everything I'm teaching right now is in the description as a free link that you can download. It's a do it yourself guide, how to complete a SWOT analysis for your nonprofit organization. Okay, S. The S stands for strengths. And again, strengths are internal components. So when you look at the strengths of your organization, you want to sit down and you want to have a conversation with all of the stakeholders in your organization, your board of directors, your employees, your volunteers. You want to have a conversation and you want to ask the question, what are the strengths of this organization? Now, I'm going to use as an example an organization that teaches remedial reading for third graders. Okay, that's the scenario, and you can apply what I'm sharing to your actual nonprofit. But as a scenario, I'm using a nonprofit organization called the Happy Readers Organization to talk about a remedial reading program for third graders. Okay, now what are the strengths? Okay, the strengths of this program could be certified teachers, certified reading teachers. So you can write that down as a strength because that is a strength. If you have certified reading teachers teaching third graders, that is a strength. Okay, they have the certification necessary to teach on the third grade level, and that's important. What could be another strength? Okay, another strength could be the supplies that you have. Maybe you have excellent supplies and equipment to use for the teachers to use to facilitate the classes. the reading classes for the third graders. Those are two strengths. Let's try to name a third one. Maybe the environment in which you're teaching is conducive to learning. Maybe it's a nice, bright, safe, clean environment that you have for teaching the class or teaching the classes. So those are three strengths that are internal to your organization, right? So that's good. Let's put those to the side. You just write them down. You don't have to elaborate on them for a long period of time. Just write them down and then come back to them later to talk about them in more detail. The second component of SWOT is weaknesses. That's the W, weaknesses. And again, the first two components are internal. So the weaknesses are also an internal look at what's weak about your organization. So this can be a very uncomfortable conversation, but it's a necessary conversation. So what weaknesses does your reading program have? Okay, perhaps you don't have enough teachers. You have good teachers, but perhaps you don't have enough teachers. That could be a weakness. Maybe no matter how hard you try, perhaps it's hard to recruit students for the program because you don't have enough buy-in from the people who are within your organization. For example, you should be relying on the board of directors to serve as ambassadors to promote the reading program in the community. Maybe the board of directors don't buy into it enough to be a foot soldier for your organization. And that's a major weakness when you have a board of directors that are not totally supportive of what you're doing. That's a weakness because on the outside, when people are examining your organization, they absolutely expect the board of directors to be wholeheartedly supporting what you're doing. So that could be a major weakness. So you want to sit down and think of ways, or think of things that are weaknesses in your organization that are hampering your performance. So those are just two weaknesses that are internal to the organization. Let's think of one more weakness. Maybe your secretary doesn't do a good job of maintaining records, because when you are dealing with youth, you have to maintain records, attendance records, performance records, the types of records that would be necessary if you were audited. Maybe your secretary is a little lax in doing that. That could be a weakness. So I've listed three weaknesses. You write your weaknesses down and you talk about them later. So I've touched upon the two components that are internal: strengths and weaknesses. Now it's time for us to talk about the other two components of the SWOT, and that those components are external to the organization, things that are happening outside of the organization but can impact the organization. So the next one is called opportunities. Opportunities is an external component, component to SWOT. It's an external SWOT component, but it could impact the organization. So, what are opportunities? Well, opportunities could be a good thing. You never know. Perhaps your reading program has received a lot of accolades in the community, and then other organizations want to reach out to you to see if you would come and serve as a consultant to helping them set up their organization. That's an opportunity. That's one opportunity. An opportunity could also be if you have your students maybe tutor other students. Maybe they get good enough in their reading that they can be able to sit alongside other organizations, students, to tutor them. There could be opportunities for you to create a curriculum, a written curriculum that you could sell as a revenue generation stream for your nonprofit organization. So those are three opportunities, good things, but they are coming from the outside. They're coming from external opportunities outside of your organization. The last component of SWOT is threats. The threats that your organization may face coming from the outside. So the fourth component are threats. What threats could we face? Well, let's say another great organization comes along and is offering a remedial reading program for youth, for third graders, just like yours. And let's say they have the backing of a major brand and people will turn their backs on you. I know from personal experience. When a new shiny thing comes along, the parents will pull their students or pull their children from your program and put them in the new shiny thing program. That's a threat. That's a threat to your existence. How do you counter that threat? What other threats could you have? Well, if you were relying on one source of funding, right? Let's say you were relying on federal government funding, and the federal government decided to cut funding from organizations, maybe not directly cut your funding because you didn't get your funding directly from the federal government, but you got your funding from an organization that did get funded from the federal government and just trickled it down to your organization. Well, if they're cut off, you're cut off. That's a threat. The threat of losing money is a major external issue that nonprofit organizations have to face. That's two: competition and then money. And then what if you have an external threat of someone trying to recruit your teachers? They heard about how good your teachers are and they can offer them double the salary that you're paying. That's a threat. So the threats are the fourth component of a SWOT analysis. Now let's summarize and bring it all back together. Again, I've created a nonprofit survivor guide. The first chapter in the guide is how to complete a SWOT analysis for your nonprofit organization. You can get a free copy of how to complete a SWOT analysis for your nonprofit organization using the first link in the description below. Just download it, it's yours. I highly recommend that you sit down with your team and go through each component of SWOT. Number one, strengths. That's the S. Sit down, have a conversation about what you're doing well. What are your strengths? Write them down, talk about ways you can make them even stronger. Next, number two, W, weaknesses. What are the weaknesses of the organization? And it's hard to talk about weaknesses because it's like, I thought we were doing good. There's always room for improvement with a nonprofit organization. So be transparent, be honest, and write a list of the weaknesses, and then talk about how you can remove the weaknesses from your organization. Those are the two internal components, things that you can control from the inside. Next, you have opportunities. Now, opportunities are external. Examine the opportunities that you have that are available for your nonprofit organization to consider taking advantage of. You know, there could be opportunities that are perfect for your nonprofit organization. Write them down. Determine whether or not they may be things you want to pursue to make your organization stronger. And finally, the fourth component, weaknesses. That's an external component. I'm sorry, not not weaknesses, threats. Excuse me. Threats are the fourth component of SWOT. And you want to determine what are the threats. You have to keep your eyes open. That's why you can't be in the trees. You have to come out of the trees and look at the forest because you have to be able to look around and see what's happening. Oh my God, I heard about another organization that's being backed by this major funder that's going to teach remedial reading for third graders. That's a direct threat to us. How can we counter that threat? So you want to have these conversations, and this is the first step in the Nonprofit Survivor Guide that I've created to help us, grassroots nonprofit leaders, get through this turbulent time. I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. I thank you for supporting my business since 2003. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate your encouragement. And again, download the free guide. Get with your team. Download the How to Complete a SWOT Analysis for Your Nonprofit Organization Do It Yourself guide, the first link in the description, and get with your team and talk about these things. Look, this is no time to be shy. This is no time to be hesitant to have meetings. This is the time for us to get together and talk about what's really going on. Thank you for your time and have a great day.